An officer in Bourbon County is alive thanks to his body armor he was wearing at the time of getting shot. Coming up, we'll tell you what the manufacturer plans to do next.
This gallery is very special.
But now that gallery is down one piece tonight, who police believe ripped a piece of artwork of Muhammad Ali right off the wall.
No flip-flops or belly shirts for Kentucky state workers. The state has issued a dress code for employees. We'll take a look at what else they'll have to leave in the closet.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. He owes his life to his bulletproof vest. It's been a week since a Paris police officer was shot while he was responding to a call.
Investigators say the officer was shot in the chest. Luckily, he was wearing a bulletproof vest, which saved his life. But that vest is no longer usable. So as WKYT's Mike Linden shows us, a Lexington business is making sure the officer doesn't go unprotected. It's our top story at 5:30.
Just off of Russell Cave Road in Lexington is a clothing and apparel store called Gall's. Their customers aren't regular people looking for clothes.
We service the public safety industry here in the area.
Gall's is also the place to go for body armor. For Bourbon County Police Officer Abdullah Balat, body armor is the reason he's still alive. Officer Balat was shot last week responding to a shots fired call.
5 to 10 years ago, people didn't wear their body armor as much as they do now.
Wheeler says the officer in Bourbon County was wearing a vest similar to this one, and inside the protection is less than 1/4 of an inch thick. He says that hopefully one day he hopes that body armor is like wearing a t-shirt.
As long as we can make it more comfortable for them, it's like your good pair of jeans that you wear, that your comfortable jeans. We want to make it that way for them every day.
While he didn't want to go on camera, Officer Balat was fitted for a replacement vest free of charge. Wheeler says Officer Balat's story should be a cautionary tale to everyone in public service.
It doesn't matter how you wear it. Wear it under your shirt, wear it over your shirt. Any way you can, make sure that you're wearing the body armor.
In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
That vest will be presented to Officer Balat in about 30 days.
New information tonight about a painting stolen from a Louisville art gallery dedicated to boxing legend Muhammad Ali. Police say that this man came into the Muhammad Ali Center on Saturday afternoon about 1 o'clock. They believe he ripped a print signed by the artist Leroy Neiman off the wall and walked out with it. Neiman donated several prints and sketches of Muhammad Ali to the gallery.
Leroy admired Muhammad, Muhammad admired Leroy. Guests coming in here just love it.
Police say the print is worth about $5,000. They say they're working on getting the artwork back from the man, but they have not released the man's name.
Police in a central Kentucky city are investigating a string of car break-ins. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Madison County. Berea police say 8 different residents along Holly Street and Chestnut Street reported that items were stolen from their parked cars. Police tell us some of the cars had the windows broken out and some were unlocked. They didn't say what items were stolen. In Scott County, deputies have charged a woman they say tried to pick her children up from school while intoxicated. According to an arrest citation, Andrea Medlock showed up to Eastern Elementary impaired. Deputies say the school would not let her pick up 2 children there, and they took 3 other children in her car out. A grandparent was called in to get the children. Medlock was arrested for public intoxication and endangering the welfare of a minor. And in Harlan County, a mother faces charges after deputies say she left her child alone in the car with drugs. Deputies say they found the child in the car at a home in Tremont. They say the child was sitting on a syringe, and they also found marijuana and another syringe in the car. Deputies then searched the home and found more syringes and marijuana. 31-year-old Ashley Smallwood was arrested on drug charges and endangering the welfare of a minor.
Some changes eventually are coming to the weather, but it has cooled off a little bit. We bounce right back, though, tomorrow, I believe. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, though, has the answers. He's tracking what's going on. Chris?
Yeah, a little up and down ride over the next few days, Sam, in terms of the temperatures. That typically happens this time of year. You get cold fronts to swing through. Thermometers go up out ahead of those, come down a little bit behind those. Today, one of those perfect and almost normal fall days late in October. A lot of low and mid-60s. Some of us starting out the day with a kiss of frost on the pumpkins. Sunshine this afternoon with a little milky cloud cover from time to time. Upper 50s north, mid and upper 60s across far southern parts of the region. Now that the sun is getting low on the horizon, dry air in place, quick drop in temperatures from the mid-50s right after sunset to the mid-40s by the time 11 o'clock rolls around. Here's what we're going to focus on over the next couple of days. Warm air out ahead of a front that arrives tomorrow. Gusty winds. This front, though, does not have a big push of true cold air behind it. What about the rain chances? Hour by hour forecast comes your way in about 10 minutes. We'll break down the prospects for rain, not only for Thursday, but guys, right on through Halloween weekend.
And on that dry note, state leaders will remind Kentuckians that tonight that seasonal restrictions on outdoor burning are in effect right now. Fall forest fire season started October 1st. It goes till December 15th. It is illegal for any person to burn between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Kentucky Division of Forestry says because of dry conditions right now, they're asking people to not do any outdoor burning.
Thousands of state employees are reading over a new dress code tonight. Governor Bevin's administration has put together a list of what employees can and cannot wear to work. Among the banned clothing, flip-flops and belly shirts. WKYT Sean Moody went to Frankfort to see what spurred this action in a story that's new at 5:30.
Before anybody gets the wrong idea, no, it doesn't sound like there were actually any employees walking the halls of the Capitol in things like flip-flops and belly shirts. It's just that these things hadn't been formally banned. I talked with someone in the personnel cabinet today who tells me this memo changes that.
There will be a few new dress code rules around Frankfort. This memo from the Personnel Cabinet Secretary went into effect October 16th, and it's pretty specific.
Employees shall carry or wear employee ID badges or other agency identifying clothing.
No flip-flops.
Employees shall not wear tops exposing their midriff.
Employees shall not wear clothing with oversized, large commercial logos or offensive language. What is offensive language?
The Cabinet Secretary wasn't available today, so I just decided to go to other people in Frankfort for their opinions. Rick's White Light Diner specializes in those.
Bunch of BS. We have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of things we need to take care of in this state, and we're talking about showing somebody's belly button.
I would agree with every one of these points. That would seem to be inappropriate attire, you know.
From what I'm told, there was no problem with people wearing inappropriate clothing that triggered this. It's just one of those things that gets revised every so often. The Cabinet Secretary said in the memo that people in certain jobs would have unique needs and requirements, and that this memo isn't intended to replace those. There's also a provision for people to seek exceptions for religious, medical, or disability-related needs. In Frankfort, Sean Moody, WKYT.
That basic dress code will apply to all the cabinets and agencies within the executive branch.
In this year's presidential race, the third-party candidates are taking a back seat to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Ed is asking our good question tonight. Why don't the news agencies cover any third-party national candidates? And how are we supposed to learn any unbiased information about them so we can go to the polls educated and informed if they're never covered? Evan McMullen, Jill Stein, and Gary Johnson are all third-party nominees for president. Well, the news media doesn't pay a lot of attention, for the most part, to third-party candidates because they historically rarely factor in the general election. There are some examples, like Ross Perot back in '92, who garnered 20 million votes. But these three third-party candidates in this year's presidential election came into this race with very little name recognition, no huge bankroll, and very low poll numbers. Now, those low poll numbers took them out of the nationally televised debates.
Well, when you're producing a nationally televised debate, you have to cut it off somewhere. And the Presidential Debate Commission decided that 15% was a good idea as to the amount of support that a candidate would have to have in the average of polls to get into the debates. And no other candidates got there besides Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Third-party candidates have been in debates before. John Anderson in 1980, and of course everybody remembers Ross Perot made the debates in the 1990s. But each of them had more support than the minor candidates do this year.
Yeah, if you're interested in learning more about the third-party candidates, you can go online, of course, to research their platforms. Some of them have also been on television. Jill Stein and the Green Party convention were on C-SPAN, and her convention speech could be seen online. CNN hosted a town hall in June featuring the Libertarian Party. So there is some media coverage of these third-party candidates. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
Still ahead on WKYT News, hundreds of thousands of visitors are flooding the Ark Park. More on all the excitement of their new goal coming up.
I'm Bill Bryant. A question asked on Kentucky newsmakers on WKYT added fuel to a tough congressional debate last night. And Senator Mitch McConnell's silence about Donald Trump gets some national attention. The bottom line is ahead.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The candidates in Kentucky's 6th District congressional race are back on the campaign trail after battling it out on TV last night.
And Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is staying silent on presidential candidate Donald Trump. Bill Bryant explains in the bottom line.
Good evening. The election is 2 weeks from today, and the candidates are kicking into overdrive. The two candidates for Kentucky's 6th District congressional seat squared off in a hard-hitting televised debate. Incumbent Republican Congressman Andy Barr and his Democratic challenger Nancy Jo Kemper appeared on KET's Kentucky Tonight, their only scheduled face-to-face encounter of the campaign. It was a lively discussion. The candidates displayed major differences on domestic and foreign policy issues. At the outset, Kemper accused Barr of running a dishonest TV ad.
Was the ad dishonest, Representative Barr?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The question was, from Bill Bryant, do you believe the country's on the right track or the wrong track? She indicated it's on the right track. Her position, in fact, is that the Iran nuclear deal is a good news for the whole world.
But I went on to say that there were huge pockets of people being left behind, that we had people that could not make their way in this life, that were not being helped by Washington, who felt their government had turned against them and was not there for them. We have had a representative in Washington for the last 4 years who has simply been giving his attention to the needs of the banks and the corporations.
Barr calls for the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. Kemper says it can be changed and fixed. The candidates agree that a shortage of doctors and nurses is a major challenge right now. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are campaigning in the swing state of Florida today, where early voting is underway. For Trump, it is the final day of a 3-day swing through the Sunshine State. He's accusing the media of promoting what he considers to be phony polls, showing him behind Clinton in several battleground states. Meanwhile, Clinton's confidence in winning the White House is growing. She is now pushing to try to capture the Senate for Democrats. Her campaign criticizing GOP Senate candidates in Florida and in New Hampshire. A story about Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's silence on Trump made the national rounds today. McConnell never had much to say about Trump, but now he is saying nothing at all about the Republican nominee or even the presidential race. Some allies say McConnell's approach is a signal to GOP candidates to do what they need to do in their own races as Republicans hope to hold their Senate majority. McConnell plans stops in central Kentucky tomorrow. Republicans have started an ad criticizing Kentucky House Speaker Greg Stumbo for his legislative retirement pension. Under current law, Kentucky's part-time lawmakers are eligible for pensions. Some Republicans call for changing or eliminating those. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
New tonight, we have learned that Kentucky's $100 million Ark Park has drawn more than 400,000 visitors since its opening.
The theme park opened on July 7th in Grant County. A state consultant initially predicted the park would attract 500,000 people in its first year. Now the group behind the park is estimating they will see 1.2 million visitors.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Perfect fall day out there. Started out the day with a little touch of frost into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. Beautiful skies all day long and those awesome feeling temperatures. Let's take a look at where we are right now. Upper 50s in the north, 60s across the rest of the area. And as that sun starts to set earlier and earlier, and keep in mind here in a couple weeks, the old time change will take effect, and we're going to see those numbers dropping a little earlier. But as we have dry air in place, those numbers will drop quickly now that the sun is low on the horizon. Can you pick up where we have a little boundary out there? 50 Cleveland, 53 Chicago, two cities that are pumped up. Right now for baseball, 60s across the Bluegrass State and points to the south. It gets a lot warmer. And on the dividing line between the cool and the downright cold, snowing into parts of New England, by the way, we have a weak boundary that is out there giving us some clouds into parts of the Bluegrass State. The really warm air is out across the Plains states. Coming in behind the front, chilly air. That low pressure is going to make a beeline toward the Great Lakes. It does not have enough time to pull up Gulf of Mexico moisture. So that means a scattered shower or two around on Thursday. If you're looking for a lot of rain as we end the month of October and say hello to day 1 of November, next Tuesday, we're going to see not a whole lot of rain. Best chances on Thursday. There's a small chance on Sunday. But I'll tell you, this has been a dry fall outside of that soaking rain we had one time last week. Here we go through the next few days. Low pressure and cold front number 1 will zip across the region as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Does not have a ton of moisture. A lot of the real cold air with that is going to be aimed toward the Great Lakes and the New England states. Yeah, we'll chill it down. I can't rule out a touch of frost Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, though, the winds of change are already blowing, this time from the south and southwest. And as we go into Saturday, windy and a fairly mild day. Many of us 70 to 75 degrees. So if you've got something planned outdoors, Saturday's a good one. Small chance for a shower on Sunday, but just like its predecessor, this front will take most of the cold air zipping across the Great Lakes into New England. So instead of just dropping in from northwest to southeast, that should only temper the temperatures by a degree or two, and then we try to bounce it back up for Halloween. Nothing spooky except the ghosts and the goblins making rounds for some candy as we go into Monday. 68 on day 1 of November, guys.
We have had some ugly weather in past Octobers, but nothing like this.
This is making up for it, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. The collision on Versailles Road has been moved out of the way, so all lanes are now open for outbound Versailles Road past the Circle and the airport. So that's great news. Drive times to Nicholasville up to 17 minutes now, a little slow. Versailles still holding at 12, and Richmond 24 minutes. That's across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. Just ahead, there were plenty of heroes for the Cats Saturday night.
Well, that's right, including safety Marcus McWilson, a player Mark Stoops called out by name early in this season. And we will hear from a Kentuckian who will be umping in the World Series, which starts tonight. Sports is next on WKYT. The Wildcats head out to Missouri this weekend, where they can take the biggest step yet towards being bowl eligible. They go for their 5th win. Free safety Marcus McWilson returned this interception for a touchdown Saturday night. McWilson comes from the same hometown as Mark Stoops, Youngstown, Ohio, and he's a player that Stoops singled out by name early in the season to play better.
I mean, definitely had to accept the challenge myself and be the player that he expects me to be. I have to hold myself to a higher standard and above the standard that he holds me to. I mean, they tell us that all the time that a coach is someone to take you a place you can't go on your own. So as he pushes me, I also have to push myself. Other teammates, we push each other, and we just keep it going.
He and I still have a very close relationship, and most players I coach, like I coach him, would probably wouldn't, have a personal relationship, because I'm very hard on him, because I know he could take it and I know he needs it.
All right, it's out to Columbia Saturday, and kickoff is set for noon on the SEC network. The EKU Colonels head back out on the road Saturday. They will face UT Martin in really a must-win situation. The Colonels have dropped 4 of their last 5 games, and with just 4 left now to play, they can't afford another loss if they're to have any hope of possibly getting an at-large berth to the playoffs. Martin has 4 losses, but 3 are to FBS schools.
We don't think that it's over by any chance whatsoever. We're going to approach every game, fully focused, with hopes of winning every single one of them, and let the cards play itself and see what happens at the end of the season. But I don't think anyone is too down or just thinking it's over for us. We're not at least.
And tonight, the World Series gets underway with the Cubs and the Indians, and Sam Holbrook is one of 2 Kentuckians to umpire in the Fall Classic. Holbrook will work in the replay booth for the first 2 games and then take the field throughout the remainder of the series. It'll be the Moorhead native's 2nd World Series in his 16-year career.
Yeah, it's really incredible, and when the phone rang and I saw it was Joe Torre, you know, my heart sunk a little bit. It's a great feeling, it's a great honor, and that's what I told him. I said, you know, it's an honor to be selected to do this.
So congratulations to Sam Holbrook. He also umpired in the 2010 World Series. Stay with us now as we continue after the break.